So now we're going to overload the stream insertion and the stream extraction operators. The stream insertion, you think of it as the out, where we would print something out, so we're going to insert it into the output stream. So we're going to make them as a friend, both of them as a friend function. And if you remember, a friend function is going to be declared in a class, but it is defined outside the class, and it still has access to all of the class members. Otherwise, these CN and Cout overloads would have to be global functions, if you remember that. So it's going to be an output stream. So we'll use output stream, and we'll use the dereferencing object to get the address of that output stream. That's the return value. We're going to use the operator keyword, and then we are going to do the stream insertion, the output, or the Cout, and then it's going to have two parameters. The first parameter is going to be the output stream, and we're going to call this parameter out, and the second one is going to be the object that we would like to output. So I will call this, we've been calling it dist1, right? Distance1 or dist1. So I'll come down here, and this is just the function declaration. So then we're going to copy and paste this down into our below main. And we'll move the ampersand into the left-hand side of that object. And then I'm going to copy this whole entire thing. Down here, there's main. Let me press main down just a little bit. And then I'm going to paste it in here. Because it is a friend function, I'm going to remove the keyword friend from here. And because it is declared as a friend function, I don't have to associate it back to the class as I did here with my less than and my plus operator overloads. All right, so inside of here, I'm going to put my opening and closing parentheses, and inside of here, all we want to do is build the output statement or a cout, a print statement that we would like to have it. And so we're going to use the same kind of print statement that we were doing in display, where we were saying, we said something like 12, and then we did a tick mark, and then we did a dash, and a 2.5, and then a double tick mark. This is the print statement that I'm trying to build, the same one that we had in display. But instead of doing cout, I'm going to use my output stream operator parameter, which we called out, correct? And so I'm going to say distance 1 dot feet, and then we're going to have some kind of a text field so that we can get the tick mark and then the dash. So inside of here, I need a single tick mark, and then I need a dash. But in order to get that tick mark to show up inside of an input a text field, I'm going to need to put the the backslash in front of it. And then the next thing that we are going to be doing is the 2.5. So that is going to be distance 1.inches. And then the last text field is supposed to be that double tick mark. So inside of the text field, if I want a double tick mark, I am most definitely going to have the backslash. And then how about if we just force a new line? And then once we have built that print statement, but we're building it inside of out, in the output stream, we're just going to return out. And then we will come down to main, and we will just cout D1. We should be able to cout D2, and we should be able to cout D3. Now, I might actually want to put some kind of a space between the two of them, maybe even a comma between the two of them, and we should just be able to use a regular stream insertion operator. It inserts values into the stream, and when I run it, we should now be able to easily display all three of our distance objects. There they are right there. Oh, I see that my comma because I forced a new line at the end of the print statement. All right, so how about if we overload the stream insertion operator? Excuse me, the stream extraction operator. So I'll come back up into my class. My comment is on line 47, and we're going to kind of repeat the process, but instead of OStream, it is going to be an iostream, a pointer to an iostream object, and then we will say operator. But now we're going to be doing the stream extraction operator, which means that I'm going to be reading it in. And then once again, there are two parameters. The iostream is the first of the two parameters. Make sure I have the right symbol. And we'll call this one in, comma separated from, once again, we're going to use a distance object, and we'll just call it distance1. So it's going to be a friend function. I'm just going to copy the whole entire function declaration or function prototype, and then I am going to paste it down. Let's see if we can find it. There is my overloading the cout, and I'm going to paste it right above main, and we will overload the cin. Remember, I don't need the friend statement here, and I don't need that semicolon at the end, but we will need our opening and our closing curly braces. Because it's a friend, I don't have to say that it's a part of the distance class. But inside of here, in order to read it in, I am just going to see out something like enter feet. And then I will, into my input stream, the parameter is called in. I am going to read in distance1 dot feet. So we're going to read in the value, read in feet. We're going to put it into my input stream variable or object called in, and then we'll do it again with inches. And I will say enter inches. And then we're going to also read that into my input stream into distance1 dot inches. And when we're done with that, we are going to return in. And it should now return to me an object. And when I do a cin on this, it's going to prompt me for feet and inches. So let's go down into main, and let's see if we can read in a distance. So I'm going to create a new distance object. Maybe I'll call it D4 so that we have something to read it into. And then I am going to cin D4, not D1, cin D4, see if we can get it to read in 4, and then I am going to cout, and I'll even put a header, distance 4, and then we will cout D, not D1, D4. And then we'll run it and see if the cin is going to prompt me for feet and inches. It will return that value as D4, and then it will display D4. So when I run it, it is prompting me for feet. So if I put, I don't know, 19 feet and how many inches? 2.25 inches. The next thing I'd have expected to do is to display distance 4, 19 feet, 2.25 inches. So we have found out that we can overload operators, logic operators and mathematical operators, and we can also overload the stream insertion and the stream extraction, or stream operators as well. Now, we can't overload all operators. For instance, one of the operators that we cannot overload, we actually used it in a function, right? Our less than function was the ternary operator, and this is one of the operators that we cannot overload, but we can overload quite a few of them. So now that you have your distance class, for your turn, I am going to have you overload the comparison operator, and you're going to compare two distances. You're going to add the instructions to the main to test your new and amazing function. And of course, I want you to include inline comments along with test cases.